We had to. We had to.
They do get better.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. We are prepping for the release of Bill and Ted Face the Music. We had to rewatch both of the original movies.
We had to.
Had to be done.
We hadn't already seen it a million times.
Somebody
definitely had to watch it.
Somebody had to do it. Actually, I have not seen them for probably 20-ish years. Like it's been since at least college, maybe high school. It's been a while for me. So and oddly enough, I've seen Bogus Journey more than Excellent Adventure, but we're going to talk about Excellent Adventure today. It was a great little reminder of how utterly charming this little movie is.
Yes, that's exactly the word I had in mind. You stole it from me, you bastard. It's charming.
It stands the test of time. It is of the late 80s, early 90s, but it is just as fun, I would say, to watch today.
Yeah.
Maybe even more fun.
Yeah.
I'm almost gonna say, like, because today is such a different landscape for comedy and for life that I'm like watching this just charming movie about two doofus dudes learning history by going through time. Oh, yeah, I loved it. I had such a good time watching it.
Not bad. Simple premise, and it's a small movie with little sets, and everyone is just loving life being there, and they are just making the most of it. They're making the most of this zany movie, and they know what they're doing. They know what movie they're in, which I think is the most important.
Abraham Lincoln.
Well, it's nice to meet you all. There's sodas in the fridge.
George Carlin shows up for points in the movie, and he's not winking at the camera, but he is, playing this future dude who is, like the world's a better place because of Bill and Ted, and it's perfect. He doesn't go over the top with it, but it's like, yep, he knows that these guys, they're essential. The future won't happen without them.
You see, 700 years ago, the two great ones ran into a few problems. So now I have to travel back in time to help them out.
Well, that is a claim to fame to these movies, is they did cast George Carlin, comedy legend, and he was not in very many movies at all. This and, some Kevin Smith.
But look at it. Doesn't it pop? Buddy Christ.
Like you said, it's not a huge movie, but man, do they make the most of what they have. These historical characters. We're meeting Socrates, and we're meeting, Napoleon.
Oh, Napoleon's the best in the entire movie. Napoleon at the ice cream shop is everything.
It's fantastic.
Ziggy Piggy.
They're in for it,
Yeah.
It's like this is why the future needs Bill and Ted. They run into people and they're just, yep, we're in.
They make friends wherever they go.
They are just everybody wants to be part of the crazy Bill and Ted shenanigans. That was some of the best stuff in the movie.
Also Napoleon.
Yeah, the movie doesn't take itself too seriously, but it is super fun along the way. I think the reason this movie works so well is literally their little mantra of, be excellent to each other. Like, that's it. Like, it is so, there's a lot of movies that are like this movie. We talked, Wayne's World is sort of similar. It's got, Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah. There's all kinds of movies that were a little bit like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. But what I love about this is it really is just about, supporting your friends. You got to be there for your friends, and you gotta, we can't let Ted go to military school. We gotta come
the
together.
Band, man. Gotta save the band.
Gotta save the band, and the fact that that's it. Like that's the ethos for life is, be excellent to each other. It's so simple and it works, and it makes the movie kind of amazing.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter play this perfectly, and they play off each other perfectly. You can tell that they actually like each other, and they play these lovable doofuses. And of course, as you said, they are so excellent to each other and those around them that they create utopia in the future. And that is exciting, and we have a third movie trying to answer it.
That's what's so cool about this is, you know, I think the first two movies were within a couple years of each other, and now 30 years later, you know, and honestly, if it was any other movie, I would be really cynical about, you know, like, oh, we're gonna, you know, go back to the Bill and Ted well, except for that, no, I want to see more of what is an older
Wild Stallions.
Yeah, the Wild Stallion, like it's like, oh, Stallions.
Wild Stallions!
I guess my hope is that the new movie doesn't get too dark and cynical with the characters, because I think that's what works, is that they're kind of perpetually optimistic.
Yes.
And kind of create that perpetual optimism around them. But we'll see, you know, it's...
I have high hopes that they're gonna approach this thoughtfully and maturely, but at the same time still have a zany, fun comedy. They can't make it too big.
Yeah.
These movies aren't about being big, even though it's about saving the world.
Right.
And then conquering death eventually and all kinds of stuff. It's, you know, it's still a small movie, a small idea. It's about friends.
But it's so cool that it's like, as they go through time, you can tell, it's not like this is a gigantic budget movie, but they did a lot with what they could. You could tell occasionally they were maybe taking, I couldn't tell if it was some stock footage or things they were kind of selling, like, oh, it's a battle scene.
We're in the middle of a war, dude!
But then you do have a whole bunch of dudes dressed up in, you know, French regalia and everything. Like, they sell all this stuff so well.
Oh, it has that Mel Brooks quality of like, we're all in with lots of people and silly armor and fake castles and
it's
all that good stuff.
The problems along the way are, oh no, we've lost these historical figures, or oh no, the father of the princess babes is gonna, you know, chop off our head, or, you know, like these silly problems.
My stepmom is hot.
Stepmom is hot.
It's your mom, dude.
It just keeps it lighthearted the whole way. That when like the end cliffhanger, are they going to be able to, you know, give their history report?
Yeah, it's about a history report.
Which I loved. Like, I don't remember ever doing like a history report in front of an auditorium with, you know, like the whole school present and everything. Like, this
But
is...
how are you going to change the world if you don't, bud?
That's exactly it. This is how you start changing the world. And what was so great is they show up and they've got all these historical figures. They've done no preparation, but yet there's spotlights where they need them, and there's music cues, and I was like, I don't care. I don't care that it doesn't make any sense. This is everything. This is fantastic.
The zaniness of the movie, it falls into movie magic. We don't question it too much. Just a lot of fun.
Enjoy the ride.
So if you enjoyed the talk, please like and subscribe and join us for our next video on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And then join us on our next video reviewing Bill and Ted Face the Music. And as always, be excellent to each other. Never thought when we started this channel I was going to do so much Keanu voice so quickly. Like it happens. Like he's truly a legend, like a living legend, because he's in everything. We're constantly talking about it.
It's gonna be eventually. This is just gonna be the Keanu fan channel. We're just gonna take over, and it's gonna be Keanu fans. I'm just such a Keanu fan.
You know what? You could spend your time worse.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Go
with
through
it.
his whole film oeuvre. Like, we'll just cover everything.
His only sin is that English accent in Dracula.
Is it a sin or is it excellent?
It's definitely a sin.